The new Pokemon games have just came out, and everyone is super excited to be able to play them and talk about them. I knew as a diehard Pokemon Let's Go fan, I needed a place where I could fanboy about these games. Until now, I was fanboying by myself. Then I discovered Pokemon Let's Go Amino with the amazing features and friendly community it has to offer. With Pokemon Let's Go Amino, you can see everything Pokemon Let's Go related, like tips and tricks on how to beat the games like these Let's Plays, personal blogs, fan art, public chat rooms, user polls, shiny Pokemon collections, and even Pokemon quizzes about facts and trivia, like this one testing your knowledge about Let's Go. There is even a featured feed where you can see all the latest posts from all sorts of users. That way you can get connected and see stuff you like. You too can get involved with the hype that is Pokemon Let's Go with Amino and participate in all these wonderful activities they have to offer. In fact, I'm on there too. I even have a poll that you guys can vote on about today's best team. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download Amino for free, and also be sure to find my username in the description and drop me a follow. There are so many fantastic features and people in the Let's Go Amino community. Sign up today and begin your Let's Go journey. Look at these comments. Gosh, you guys are impatient sometimes. But it's finally here. Yes, the best team for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I'm honestly gonna say, I'm super impressed with these games. The mechanics, the catching system, everything about it. And with there being only Kanto Pokemon, I hate to say it, but I think making a best team is actually easier. Though it is easier to create, I couldn't make this team without the best starter guy.
Mystic, you do know I don't just do best starter on my channel, right? I have other things too.
Top 5 reasons why you shouldn't watch Eryizo. Also, don't forget to make your top 5s 13 minutes long so you can maximize that ad revenue.
Wow, rude. But anyways, yeah, we did the best starter for Let's Go on my channel, so if you guys want to check that out, click the iCard link on the right to go see it, then once you're done, come back here to see the full best team. Over there, we give a full explanation and reasoning as to why we are going to use this specific starter for the best team, so you might want to go check that out first.
Cutting straight to the chase, the best team is a team of 6 Pokemon that is designed for the absolute best performance for its said Pokemon game. The team revolves around a best starter choice, and is then made into a team revolving around that said best starter choice. Each team member is designed to do well against certain gym leaders, the Elite Four members, champion, rival, and the evil team leaders. In the end, we have a team that does well against all the important battles in game. As a bonus, we're going to be including, just like in the starter video, Red and Green. Red and Green are both very important characters regardless of if they're post-game or not. I think it would be a dishonor to not include them. As far as the rest of the post-game goes for rematches or master trainers, we will not be including them. I will be including Blue, but only his Silph-Co encounter. If I did his rematch team, I would have to do all the gym leader and Elite Four rematches. When making this team, we also provide movesets for each of the Pokemon. We include TM moves, but we do not allow egg moves nor post-game tutor moves. But in this game, egg moves don't exist, which is crazy, and the majority of the moves in this game are tutor moves, especially for Eevee. So we're going to be including those as long as they're not post-game. Alright, so that's pretty much what a best team is. Let's hop right into this best Let's Go team.
Alright, so this is your final warning for anyone who hasn't seen the best starter video and doesn't want to be spoiled on who it is, because now we're going to be talking about it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The best starter for Let's Go is Eevee. Again, we've already explained it over on my channel as to why Eevee is the best starter, so we're really not going to get into any details here to waste anyone's time. For the purpose of this video though, all there is to say is that Eevee is the best of the two. And what's great about Eevee is the fact that it gets access to so many great moves that it can really function however you want it to be. And stat-wise, we really like the fact that it's well-rounded, at least as much as it can be for a pre-evolution. So Eevee's role on the team is just to help cover even further.
Alright, I know I said everything is explained in the best starter video over on Eryizo's, but I can at least provide a moveset. Eevee's final moveset I think should be Buzzy Buzz, Facade, Double Edge, Batty Bad, and Sparkly Swirl or Bouncy Bubble. Buzzy Buzz is a tutor move that can be taught to Eevee as early as the Cerulean Pokemon Center and can be taught at any other tutor location in the game once those locations are discovered. Facade can be found on Route 7 from a Master Trainer, and if you want extra power, Double Edge can be an option, just beware of recoil damage. Batty Bad can be found in Celadon City, Sparkly Swirl can be found in Fuchsia, and Bouncy Bubble can be found in Cerulean, and like Buzzy Buzz, it can be relearned anywhere. In terms of either Sparkly Swirl or Bouncy Bubble, it all comes down to personal preference. Do you want coverage for fighting Pokemon and Lance's one Dragon, or do you want Bouncy Bubble for rock or ground coverage? It all comes down to your personal preference. I prefer Sparkly Swirl though. Alright, that's it for Eevee. Let's move on to the other members of this team.
Now let's move on to the very first Pokemon you are meant to catch, and this Pokemon you can actually get very early on in the games, Route 22 to be exact, and that is Nidoran Male. This Pokemon is honestly one of the most versatile and just all-around great Pokemon in the games. It sucks that Sheer Force is no longer a thing, but Nidoking can still do bits in this game, being by far the best ground type, at least for in-game use. You can pick it up very early on in the games, can fully evolve it as soon as Mount Moon, and has a very vast move pool. I mean, there's Ice Beam, Brick Break, Superpower, the Elemental Punches, Earthquake, Poison Jab, Outrage, Mega Horn. There's just a lot of moves to work with here. And as for stats, it's not particularly great at anything, but can function well in many different roles, which is a perfect stat line to fit this move pool.
As for movesets, there is so much to offer with Nidoking, especially with it being in Generation 7. Now we have a lot to mess with. The final moveset I recommend for Nidoking is Poison Jab, Earthquake, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Poison Jab is there for obvious stab, and that can be learned at level 38. Or you can get the TM for it in Celadon City by surfing across a small patch of water. An NPC gives it to you. Ice Beam can be found in the Seafoam Islands on the 3rd floor, and it provides coverage for a lot of different Pokemon. Earthquake can be obtained from Giovanni once you beat him, but for an early ground type move, you can teach it Drill Run for the time being. You can get Drill Run from an NPC in Route 17. The battle for that trainer isn't too tough. Dig is also a move that you can give it before Drill Run for Lieutenant Surge. After you beat Misty, you already have a fully evolved Pokemon with an 80 base power attack being Dig. That's very solid. Earlier moves you can get to the Nidoran line are Double Kick and possibly Horn Attack. Double Kick can also be handy against Brock if you don't feel like using Eevee.
With all of these moves, the Nidoking line does great against Brock, Surge, Koga aside from Venomoth, Blaine, Giovanni and Lorelei, but I don't really recommend it, Bruno's Onix and Poliwrath for Thunderbolt, but that's kind of risky, Agatha, Lance, but be careful of Gyarados, Trace's Raichu, Rapidash, and Pidgeot, Team Rocket, which is especially important because of the poison types, Archer, Jesse and James, Red's Arcanine and Pikachu, and of course, Green's Gengar. So you can see this Pokemon is definitely worth having.
Coming into the 3rd slot of our team, welcome back best starter for Kanto, Fire Red and Leaf Green, Venusaur. I love Venusaur and everything it stands for. It is my favorite Kanto starter and it's just utterly adorable. This time in Kanto 2, you get to Mega Evolve this baby, and let me just say, it's a monster once it gets into the Elite Four. Prior to that, I think Venusaur is the best grass Pokemon you can get in the entire game, and with it already having an impressive Kanto track record from the previous Kanto Best team, I think you guys already know how well it does. Grass Pokemon do pretty well in Kanto, as a lot of trainers use rock and ground based Pokemon. Venusaur also has the power to be a bulky monster or an offensive attacking beast. You can run Leech Seed, Toxic, Earthquake, Swords Dance, Mega Drain, Sludge Bomb. There's just a lot of fun to run on Venusaur. It's got the stats to take on any role, and it's just an overall great grass Pokemon and the best Kanto starter.
So move-wise for Venusaur, early on you get Vine Whip, which big picture isn't a great move, but for early on in the game against the likes of Brock and Misty, it's very doable. From there you can also learn its first move we are permanently keeping on Venusaur, which is Leech Seed. We feel this is a great move for Venusaur due to the bulk it has, and it can just sap away little bits of health from the opponent. There's also, of course, the powder moves like Poison Powder and Sleep Powder, but I recommend Poison Powder early on because I prefer crippling and draining HP to just making a Pokemon sleep. From there, Venusaur doesn't really learn that many great moves by level up. I mean, there's Petal Dance, but I genuinely don't like that move just because you get locked into it and confused, but Venusaur does get some good TM moves. Which leads us to the other 3 moves we are putting on Venusaur, which are Mega Drain, Sludge Bomb, and Toxic. Mega Drain is great because it got a buff in Let's Go from 40 to 75, and it still gets back HP as well. It's also really easy to find because you get it as soon as you beat the 4th gym. Sludge Bomb and Toxic, on the other hand, are both kind of late game, from beating Koga and Cinnabar Mansion respectively. So until you get to those points in the game, I guess I can just recommend you running Takedown and Poison Powder.
With all these moves, Venusaur does great against Brock, Misty, Giovanni's Rhyhorn and Rhydon, Lorelei's team. I did the calcs for Mega Venusaur. It can take hits from both Slowbro and Lapras, so don't worry, Mega Venusaur will do fine with Mega Drain and can safely 2-hit KO Slowbro and Lapras. You're fine. Other Pokemon it does well against are Bruno's Onix, Trace's Marowak and Slowbro, Green's Blastoise and Clefable, and Red's Lapras. One other note to add is that Leech Seed and Toxic can really dent Red's Snorlax, as that thing is super fat. I get it has rest, but still, getting a Leech Seed off is nice, and if he is a bad NPC and decides to not use rest, then more power to you.
Next up we have the
No, I want Vulpix and Ninetales. Those are in my top 5 favorites. Talk about its moveset.
Okay, sure. Weirdo.
Okay, so I hate to cut off Eryizo like that, but if you guys have seen any of my videos, 2 of my favorite Pokemon you know are Vulpix and Ninetales. Vulpix can be found right after Cerulean City, right below on Route 5. I will admit that Ninetales isn't the best for Let's Go. I will 100% agree that Arcanine is for fire types. The problem is with Arcanine is that it's version exclusive to Pikachu. Hold it there, commenter. Don't type what I think you're gonna type. Yes, you can get Arcanine as a ride Pokemon from an NPC in Vermilion City, I'm fully aware. The problem with that is, Arcanine can't get Flamethrower level up, nor can it get any other fire moves other than Ember. Flamethrower is a TM, but you don't get that TM until Self-Co. At that point in the game, fire Pokemon really aren't as useful as they are in the early game. Ninetales is on the team because we needed filler in all honesty. A fire Pokemon to me provides better filler rather than an ice type Pokemon or a fire type Pokemon. Plus with that being said, I don't want any more weaknesses on the team added. We don't need any more psychic weaknesses or ice type weaknesses.
Well, for moves, it's really simple what we wanted Ninetales for, and that's for all of the powerful fire type moves. So of course, what you need to have is either Flamethrower or Fire Blast. But for this specific team, we think accuracy should go over power. You do have to wait a bit to get it around to level 24, which should be after Rock Tunnel, so it's actually a perfect time as it's right before you battle Erica. Will-O-Wisp is also a great move to have since Burn halves physical attacks and deals damage every turn. And you can also get it as soon as 17, which should be right as you catch it on Route 5. Besides that, there really isn't much else to learn through level up, as Vulpix doesn't learn anything worthwhile after Flamethrower, and Ninetales doesn't learn anything, period. But for TMs, there are some nice moves it can get access to, the best of them being Dark Pulse, which is located in the Rocket Hideout, and Calm Mind, which you can get from Sabrina. I actually preferred to have Nasty Plot, but the move relearner isn't until the end of the game, so Calm Mind will just have to do until then. Solar Beam is also another option if you want, but having to power it up for 2 turns would just be a hindrance to Ninetales.
With all these moves, Ninetales is great against Erica, Sabrina, Lorelei's Jinx, Agatha's Gengar, Blue's Executor, Trace's Vileplume and Slowbro, be careful, Green's Victory Bell, and Red's Venusaur.
Alright, now for the penultimate Pokemon on this best team for Let's Go, we decided to go with a Pokemon that can really counter Psychic types, as they are one of the strongest types in the game. And well, since we are playing Eevee, why not run the best possible non-Mega Bug type in this game? Pinsir. It's great because this Pokemon comes right before you face Sabrina, actually a full gym before it on Route 14. Although it is a 1% encounter rate, once you get a chain going and a lure up, it should be much easier to find. And as for moves, it's not vast, but has all the important moves that you need, such as X-Scissors, Swords Dance, Superpower, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Outrage, just powerful physical attacks is all you need. And as for stats, sure, it's not the greatest, I wish the speed was up a bit, but base 100 defense and 125 attack is nothing to sneeze at.
Moves for Pinsir is actually quite fun, as I don't think we have used a lot of bug Pokemon in a best team before. Its moveset consists of X-Scissor, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Swords Dance. X-Scissor Pinsir gets a level 20, and it's Pinsir's basic stab attack. Rock Slide is here for coverage, and that can be found inside of the Cinnabar Mansion. Earthquake is a must-have coverage attack for Fire-type Pokemon. Just don't use it against Blaine, he will knock you out. Swords Dance can be learned via level up at level 32, and to be honest, Swords Dance can help Pinsir sweep teams. Pinsir isn't exactly our MVP, but it is a powerful asset, especially of Swords Dance. With that move, Pinsir should be able to carry to new places.
Now with all these moves that Pinsir gets access to, the most effective people to use it on are Sabrina, Lorelei's Jinx and Slowbro, Bruno's Onix, Agatha, Trace's Raichu, Vileplume and Slowbro, Blue's Executor, Red's Venusaur and Pikachu, and Green's Gengar and Victory Bell. So basically, Pinsir isn't going to be the most widely used Pokemon on the team, but it provides a very important check to Psychic types.
Lastly on our team, we have one of the best Team for Kanto superstars, Starmie. I swear, I am too good at these puns. Now, Starmie is our designated water type and psychic type. It fills the role for our needs of a poison Pokemon killer, rather than having to rely on Nidoking for all the work. Starmie's water typing isn't heavily needed due to Venusaur, but I mean, hey, a water type Pokemon isn't terrible to have. Plus, you can ride on Starmie, and it just looks super silly. This star Pokemon has a super wide move pool to pick from, as it always has. Its special attack and speed are off the charts, and I think I can say it's one of the best special attacking Pokemon in the game. Alakazam, I'm gonna admit, is one of the best Pokemon in the game. But we can't use it because of trade evolutions. I have used trade evolution Pokemon before, but you guys have gotten upset about it. A lot of people don't have access to the Nintendo Switch's internet subscription, so Starmie is going to have to suffice. If you want to use Alakazam, that is 100% fine if you're up for trading. I'll even provide a moveset for Alakazam. Psychic, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Calm Mind. Psychic you get via level up, Shadow Ball you get from the Celadon department store, Thunderbolt you get from Surge, and Calm Mind you get from Sabrina. Starmie is here for people that do not want to trade though, and I can say it's the best option if you're not using Alakazam. Plus I like Starmie because it can heavily help out against Lance.
Unfortunately, in these games, Starmie doesn't have the coverage of a Pokemon like Alakazam with moves like Shadow Ball, but as a special sweeper, this Pokemon is definitely one of the best to use. And being that this is a late game Pokemon to get, you won't really have any time to develop this Pokemon level-wise, but that's okay because most of the moves that we are going to be using on this Pokemon will most likely already have access to. At level 36, you get Psychic, which is a must-have for this Pokemon, but you can also grab that TM and Saffron as well. From there, we are going to be using Scald and Thunderbolt, which are both obtained through gym leaders, and then Ice Beam is right next to Starmie at Seafoam. So this moveset is really easy to get since basically you already have everything.
With these moves, Starmie does great against Koga, Sabrina's Slowbro, Blaine, Giovanni's entire team unlike Venusaur, Lorelei's water types, Bruno's entire team, Agatha's team, Lance's entire team, Blue's team, Trace's entire team aside from Jolteon, be careful of Vileplume, Archer's Poison types and Magmar, Green's Gengar, Blastoise, and Victory Bell, be careful, and finally Red's Arcanine, Lapras, and Venusaur, just be careful of Venusaur. Well, that pretty much wraps up the best team for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I know I say best team for both games, because technically this is the actual best team for both games, as Eevee is the best starter, and Eevee is the best game to play. So Eryizo and I are showcasing you the best game to play. I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking, are you doing Pikachu? And the answer is, you'll have to find out. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But yeah, that was the best team for Let's Go. I hope you guys did enjoy the team, as it was a lot of work to create. Also, big thank you to Eryizo for helping me out.
No problem, man. I just wasted my entire day, then I can't get back researching. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it was really fun being a part of this again, and if you guys still haven't seen the best starter for Let's Go on my channel, well, it's kind of a bit too late now. But hey, you can at least still find the reasonings there, and maybe watch some other videos, you know? Help me pay my rent and all that.
Amen to that, but if you're new to the channel, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and Nintendo content like shiny hunting, Zelda, Fire Emblem, and so much more. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Fly, Jubilee, Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Pal491, Jarrett Weeze Austin, and Lazy Leo did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.